Well, we are here below $99,000. This was the highest probability scenario based on the technical analysis to get below 99K. So is this it? Are we looking for the major reversal sign for the next coming days and next coming weeks to start getting a new uptrend? Hold your horses. We'll be going in detail on a few scenarios, but even more in detail on the live stream later on, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. On the live streams, we go more into detail. Yesterday, we were discussing how the multiple 1-2 setup and rolling down below 99K throughout the next coming days was the highest probability. And here we are looking at the charts, getting that major move to the downside. But we are hitting major support. Anyway, by the way, congratulations, whoever shorted in the last few days. We did talk about a couple of shorting levels. 107.5K obviously was the best shorting area, double top scenario internally. Whoever held that short position, very worth holding this short position to speculate the rollover back down to 99K. Now, we have had the government shut down for over 43 days, just reopened yesterday. Some people were speculating that's it. This is the time for the markets to shine. The stock market, Bitcoin, everything dropped in the last 24 hours. But now that we got the drop and we are at support, is it time to bounce? As extreme fear is at very low levels, and that's obviously a good sign to start thinking about bottom formations. We'll be breaking down a little bit of the technicals in a simple way, guys, levels to take into consideration. But as mentioned, we do go more deeper in the technical analysis on the live streams, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. We do about an hour to 2 hour live stream going in detail of levels, opportunities, and how the waves could develop. Not going to break it down so much here on this video update, but giving you a hint on what could possibly happen. If you do want more details, of course, you do have the Legends trading community. That's where you get the daily updates from myself and Deviled. And remember, if you are interested in trading, BTCC and Bluffin have great bonuses, 20% cashback on Bluffin and up to $10,000 in rewards that you get airdropped the more you trade. You got the links down below, guys, to claim those bonuses. Let's dive in right away through the technicals, right? Now, the bears want lower. The bears are seeing the CME gap that we do have at $92,000 and that we have broken now successfully the 50 weekly moving average, right? That we tried to maintain as support throughout last week and this week. We broke down. Now, it's pretty obvious that we do have a good chance that we do close this weekly candle below the 50 weekly moving average. But the technicals that we do have and the support down here are absolutely insane. Now, this doesn't mean there's going to be time, guys. The local structure from all-time high is down. We are down trending. It is true that some technical analysis does provide us that this could be the end of a contracting diagonal, for example. This is what we were talking about throughout the last few days. Getting one more low, guys. We're looking for a lower high in this region and we're looking for below 99K to be hit. Now that this does look completed, hey, it should be time to long, right? I would say that longing in this zone is kind of acceptable. Manage risk, understand that the price could chop around here and claim the lows for the next coming hours and next coming days. You just need to be aware of this situation as we are downtrending on the lower time frame and there's no bullish market structure change on the lower time frame even. This is what we're going to discuss right over here, but the support down here is massive. Big point of control from a huge range of 2024. Now, when we do see the previous ranges, if they did get support or resistance at the point of control, we can clearly see that we got that bounce here from this point of control. This is the CME futures one. The point of control on the rest of exchanges was slightly lower, and we did get rejected here. We did get a bounce. So these point of control of ranges act very well as resistance and support. And this is a huge one. However, is it going to be an exact level and get the bounce now throughout the next coming hours? Time to long. If this is without a doubt a zone that we are interested in looking for swing long trades, start to see a recovery or even a bottom formation exhaustion from the bears. So if you trade responsibly and you're happy to get into a long, give a bit of room for stop loss here at the 90K levels, you're risking 1%. You're expecting a recovery in the next coming days. I'm a swing trader, right? I don't want to get into the 1 minute, 5 minute time frame to get an exact entry. This is good support. I would not expect a successful breakdown. Obviously, take it as your own risk. We'll be going in detail on the live stream on what we need to see on the lower time frames. Now, of course, yes, this could be the end of the fifth wave to the downside. On the lower time frame, you could discuss that this could be a double zigzag WXY starting here from the top of the 11th of November. It is true that you do have a zigzag down, and then you have this very corrective bounce. We were discussing this yesterday, guys. For this to be an ABC and this an impulse, very low chance. We were very much interested in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, as discussed on the live stream, okay? So, this is literally, it followed the drawing more or less, right, coming down to the 98, 97K zone, which is currently where we at. So, yeah, there is a chance, there is a bullish scenario here, okay? I have to say, a double zigzag where you have a zigzag down in your wave W, you got your corrective structure, and then another spike down, bounce, and another spike to the downside. Either the low could be in or very close in being in. I would discuss that even forming another low here, you could, fit all of this momentum to the downside into this wave to finish your ABC zigzag down here in your wave Y. It could happen, guys. We are at very good support. It is the point of control of 2024 and 2025. This is a huge, huge level. Okay, so people that want to take a little bit more risk in this downtrend that we are right now, hey, I have to say, the price is still in a bearish structure, not only locally from the last few days, from the rejection of all-time high. We do have a lot of signs on the higher time frame that we could be finishing a contracting diagonal here. Now, the problem is this has room to move all the way down to the low 90K levels. Hitting $90,000 is your exact invalidation for this contracting diagonal, because that means that your wave 5 would be longer than your wave 3. So a bit of choppiness here. And this is very, very classic, because I think there's a lot of eyes watching this level where a lot of people are interested in longs. A lot of over leveraged longs could be entering the market, and that what happens is it creates choppiness, right? It creates choppiness. We only had the biggest wave with the highest amount of volume that started yesterday. The speculation of multiple 1-2s, 1-2s, 1, 2, 3, start your third wave down. We mentioned this yesterday. After a wave 3 to the downside, make sure to understand that you have the potential of forming multiple 4-5s. And what you would be looking at is either this scenario where you're still looking for dead cat bounce, corrective bounces, still another low, maybe another bounce and another low, because you have had a few 1-2s, and only the biggest move here with high volume has happened in the last 24 hours. What you want to see in an impulse after a high volume move, potentially labeling it as your wave 3 on the highest priority, is forming a few 4-5s, which you could claim the low and chop a few times with the potential to be hitting 94K, maybe 92K. But that choppiness would confirm us the exhaustion. We are ready right now to really go heavily long and look for that heavy reversal, right? Of course, you might think, but what if we don't form this? There is a potential double zigzag. It can be countered. Maybe, this is the low. Well, like I said, you either take the aggressive shot as we are hitting the point of control, just manage risk. The potential of bouncing here is there is a good chance that we could get a bounce here. The conservative way would be waiting for a sign of strength, getting a nice impulsive move throughout the next coming days. If you do start overlapping this pivot low right over here, getting close to this pivot, you will be invalidating the multiple 1-2 setup scenarios, right? Or there's two different ones, one that has only one more 4 in 5 and the other one that has a few more 4 in 5s, okay? So yeah, if you do get that rally in an impulsive move, start getting above 101K, with a nice 5-wave structure, we could confirm that this wave has finished. Then that is your interest right there to start looking for the pullback, because we could confirm that this is a wave 1 and this very likely a wave 2 formation retracing to the 50% 7/8 Fibonacci area, right? Choppiness. It's looking good, guys. We're looking for long, stop loss at the low, and we're looking for a big recovery to get to 107K plus and even higher, right? If we are going to get a new bullish structure. It's going to require patience. On the lower time frame, there will be signs to detect that reversal. There is a chance for this to be the end of the movement down in a WXY. A lot of confusion. I do not know what is going on, right? We will be seeing signs of strength, guys, and proof of bottom formation. For multiple 1-2s, it is simple. You need to chop around a few more times here to claim the lows. If you do claim the lows again and it fails to break, okay, that will be clear signs that you are in the 4-5 formation, as you do have the biggest move yesterday with the highest amount of volume that we always prioritize as a wave 3. So there will be signs of reversing, right? Exhaustion, not breaking down the lows. That's what we want to see as traders. We want to be patient. If you want to get in here because of the potential of the WXY, it could be the end, then you can do so. Manage risk. Don't go too crazy. The people that are putting limit longs and are underwater from longs at 100K plus, they're just going to hope that we're going to get a bounce. We don't trade based on hope. We are downtrending. The possibility of 4-5s could happen. If you're taking along here, take it with responsibility, no financial advice. We are still downtrending. 4-5s could still be on the formation here to chop down the low. So that is something that I just wanted to point out, right? It's a good level. We at the point of control of 24.25 out at 96.5K. We already got a reaction bounce today of $1,000, but we're chopping. We're still downtrending. The bounces are not looking too great. So it's a matter of, risk appetite. You want to take the long? Well, go ahead. You want to wait for exhaustion? That would be a clear sign. Will we get the exhaustion here in 4-5s? Well, we don't know, right? We do have the potential of being the low here with the WXY, double zigzag. Waiting for exhaustion is your best chance. And even a better chance is waiting for that recovery. You won't be catching the low, but you would be catching a confirmation that the trend is shifting. You're shifting the downtrend. And that it's much better to look for longs here in your corrective structure to then look for that third wave up to get above 107K. We'll be going a little bit more in detail here, a little bit of too much drawing, guys. We are at support. Extreme fear is very, very low at the moment, or very high, right? If we are considering, a lot of fear around the world based on the movements to the downside, stock market down. And obviously this is a good sign to start looking for bottom formations. Nothing much has to be said. Just be aware that we could chop around a little bit more at the lows, but it is a good sign that we could be at the end stages of the downtrend, and it's in your best interest to look for swing longs. There is one scenario that would be cheeky, that the wave 5 is not in, where you get a corrective bounce to the upside and you claim the low one more time. If you end up forming this as an impulse, getting a few more 4-5s, you cannot count this as a 3-wave structure. It would have to be your A wave, bounce, and then claim the low again, and then get the recovery. Get everybody out that is using too much leverage long positions, and then get the ultimate reversal. At the end of the day, all of the scenarios that we are talking about is looking for a reversal. No matter how much you chop at the lows, we are looking for that reversal scenario in the next coming weeks. That's where your risk management comes into place, all right? Not much more has to be said on this video update. Make sure to trade safe, stay safe, and catch me on the live stream later on. Thank you, and I'll see you there.